So it's about 9:30 p.m. here on Wednesday night, and I just got in from Bread of Life, which is a weekly ministry, and um, I work with several people. Life Anglican is international in its congregation, and so we have several of our volunteers are from other countries, and at the end of the night we clean out the bins that the bread has been in, and we sit down and do that, and sometimes we have conversation, usually some laughs. But tonight I took a seat beside the husband of a husband and wife couple because the wife was off doing something. And they're very timid, this couple, because they're, not from this culture. And they are still wearing masks. And so this husband starts opening up to me about his struggle. And his struggle is that he believes he's being fake with who he is because he perceives the world that we live in to be fake. He's not wrong. Not everyone is fake, but when you ask someone, how are you doing? And they say, I'm fine or I'm good. But otherwise, because some of the things going on in their lives. I would love to go to church. I know a few people who do this, not many, but I know a few people, mostly women, that are my friends, when I go to church and say, how are you doing? And they're like, well, I've had a what kind of day, and I just don't want to be here. Very few people do that. And very few people allow themselves to be even more vulnerable when it comes to the struggles of real life. I don't understand this about the church. Yes, I mean, we're all human. And we're all meant to be in relationship with other humans. The risk of that, the reality of that, is we are going to hurt one another intentionally or unintentionally. And this person was telling me how he had been hurt by another church that he had given 16 years to in service and his family. And I said, the mistake that we make is thinking that when our family hurts us, we can go to the church and they will treat us better. Where's the logic? They're another type of family made up of the same fallible human beings as everywhere else on the planet. So to think that you're going to escape hurt by going to a family that's supposed to be righteous, we're not righteous because we behave well. We're righteous because Christ died for us and we have chosen to live by faith in Him and through Him and for Him. Having said that, I had to remind him of a few things. I said, firstly, if you are going to church to serve other people, that's fine. But your primary objective is to serve God. And when you start getting frustrated or thinking that you should be appreciated and you should be, celebrated, you have taken the focus off of the God that is the center of the universe, deserves your service and your praise and your focus. And you have put it on yourself. We forget that ministry is not about us. It is not about you. It is not about me. It is about Jesus Christ and what He has done to redeem us and work through us and make us anything acceptable to God. The moment we take our focus off of Christ, we are going to become frustrated at everybody and everything for any and every reason. As a woman of a certain age, I have struggled for a long time with my big personality and my big mouth. I'm a lot to take, and I know that. And I lack skills in so many ways. The best skill I have is my mouth, but it's also a damning skill if I'm not careful. And it's easy to get discouraged thinking that I don't have a place in this world without screwing it up because of my mouth. I have struggled emotionally many times with this, but I will tell you, it doesn't matter what you think you're capable of or who you think you are. When you surrender to the Lord, He gives you a whole new lease on how to look at ministering to His people and through that to the world. we are called as church members to spur the church on to good works and to love each other in such a way is that others want to be like us. But the moment we start taking liberties with things that people confide in us, and I shared the story about that man without his name because I need people to know that the church is not being real with one another. We are still putting on a facade that we're okay. And I had another church member friend tell another lady friend, her family's going through some stuff, and she says, you need to be strong. And I said, no, she doesn't. It is okay to fall apart. It is okay to let other people see you're not okay with what they're going through. For example, when my mom had cancer, I thought I had to be strong. That was me, thinking I had to be strong. But when did it not become okay for you to cry in front of a family member who is dying of cancer? You don't have to hold it together. It is okay for you to fall apart. It is okay to not be okay. It is okay to share that with other people. It is okay to be vulnerable in front of your church family without fear of judgment, condemnation, or reprimand. Yes, there's accountability that should take place with loving kindness and extended mercy, because we've been given much mercy. The moment we think that we have the right to tell somebody else they are wrong is the moment we overstep our bounds into unjust judgment. And I say this in frustration because I feel so bad for him, because he feels like he needs to be fake just to survive. He said that. He needs to be fake to survive. He told me he appreciated how real I was. He said, you're the realest person I've ever met. You're true to who you are. And many people cannot be like that. I was kind of taken aback because we give each other crap. He's timid, but he's not afraid to give me crap, which is fine. I love it. And I give him crap like in a loving way. I'll harass, and it's great. But the fact that he told me that, and I thought, man, it's sad when you don't know people who are authentic. We have the desire to be realized for who we are authentically, not who we think we are, not who we identify as, who we are. And when he told me, because he's still wearing a mask from COVID, and a lot of that comes from some trauma he experienced with his family and friends at his other church. And while we were sitting there, he said, I don't know, because I asked him, I said, what do you think that you need to do to become real? What would you have to discard to become more of who you are? And he pointed to the mask. And while he was sitting there, the Lord is like, he's taken his identity in that and not in me. And I had to remind him that when you take your focus off of God, and I didn't say that to him. I feel bad that I didn't tell him his identity is in God, not in his mask. It's not even in what you look like. It's not even in what you're capable of. Your identity is in all of who God Almighty is. Anything we can accomplish and become and do is because of who he is and what he's already done. And so I just tried to confirm in him, when you keep your eyes focused on the author and perfecter of your faith, you start realizing, or he starts bringing you into step with him. It is not about what you have or what you don't have, what you do or can do or can't do. But, it's about submitting to the ultimate sufficiency and authority of who he is and allowing him to produce in us the outcome that he has already decided. There's no fakeness in that. It is a liberating reality of who he is and what he's done. So my frustration is over. I'm sorry, but I also wanted to share that rather odd, exciting opportunity of counseling. Like, I'm not a counselor, but I get these conversations all the time. But anyway, just wanted to encourage you in some sort of way today, and I hope that was helpful and encouraging. I love you guys.